Okay, so we're going to try to do a painting of this, a blood moon. I have my setup. I got a stretch canvas. I put that thing behind it because the light was coming through. It'll mess it up. It's just a cheap one. It's already pre-gessoed. I drew the circle for the moon and the horizon. This is nice because, again, putting something in the center is pretty lame. So everything's in thirds, so interest to thirds. So this is kind of close to the third. This is in the thirds. I have water. I have a bunch of acrylics. I don't want to put up all the way out because they dry out so much. It kind of bothers me about acrylics. I have a glass palette and a razor blade. It'll scrape off like a skin because acrylics are plastic. It'll come off like a plastic sheet at the end once it's dry. I just grabbed an assortment of colors. Obviously everything here is very warm. I might need to find the blue somewhere, but anyway, yeah, I have alizarin crimson, which is really nice because it has a low tinting strength. If you look, you can see right through it, which might be nice for glazing in this area. And I have the cadmiums, medium light, orange, and yellow medium. This is an Indian yellow. I mean, that thing barely tints anything. That's our neighbor screaming. It's all right. That Indian yellow is going to be in this and make it look glowy. Yellow ochre, which looks like baby poop, in case if we need any baby poop, just to knock down the chroma of some of the colors. I have my spray bottle. I have paper towels, and I have an assortment of brushes and like palette knife and things like that. You always want to start with the biggest brush that you have. This is, big enough. You want to be able to cover large areas. And I'll tint it first. But before, let's look at this. What do you like about this? So if you squint, it has like a glowy effect. Almost the whole background blurs out except for this area, and a little bit of here, and this really kind of glows. So really your point of interest is going to be right here. And you're probably attracted to this because it's very red, and aggressive colored, but pretty. So this is going to be an area of pure and intense and appealing color. And this is going to be very light if you squint. Obviously there's some white hot spots here, and then like kind of a crusty texture, but also a glowy soft edge. And then here we can apply some texture because it's in the foreground. It'll make it kind of come forward. We'll probably palette knife some of that on there, but we can get this basic color down. If we can hit this and get that the color we want, it's just an exciting pure red chroma. And then we can work off of that. If you squint and think, where else is this? It's also up here. It's also here. And it's in throughout here. But again, it's a vignette. Anytime you have a glowing center, the way your eye processes it, it's darker on the outside. So there's always this dark on the outside. If you squint, you'll notice that this is like a V shape. And then this just has some highlights that get bigger and wider as it gets closer. Yeah, you always have to ask yourself, what is it that appeals to you about this? Before you get started. But, looking at this could be cadmiums are interesting. A fun fact with cadmium, it's a metal, and the more you cook it, it changes color. So if you cook it a little bit, it's a yellow, orange, red. It's basically the toastiness of the metal. And unfortunately, it probably causes cancer, if you eat it, or if it absorbs through your skin too much, which is not really a big problem right now. But anyway, I'm not putting all this stuff out, but I am going to give it a little spritz just so I don't get a crust and ruin the whole pot. And let's take a peek at how this, yeah, it's kind of boring. Water this out. I'm just going to tone and see where this is coming from. Oh, here's the circle that I drew. Now you're going to want that, you're going to want to overlap, because that's going to be a soft edge. Okay. make sure you know where that line is. You don't want to lose your horizon, because even a baby can tell if a horizon is not straight. I'm just going to tone this. Toning helps you set your eye for the rest of the painting. Even though with acrylics, this is more like a oil painter's approach to acrylics. But whatever. Let's see that. Yeah, this is all browned out. See, I got brown and stuff, but the most intense, this is going to be browned out. So let's give us an idea of where this is going. Okay, that's going to be the darkest, and this is going to be lighter. I'm almost treating this like a watercolor, because acrylic is water soluble. So that makes it easy to clean. It doesn't stink up your house. But you can't get the same luminous effects, but we'll try. So you want to be wary of crappy dry brush strokes. Now, if you water down acrylic, the pigment will start to pill. You can see it starts to water if the medium or the base isn't absorbent. So you want to be able to control the texture on this and make sure it's soft. That's too much water, probably. Yeah. Go in here and just try some of that. Okay, so if you squint, we got it pretty nailed down. Let this dry a little bit. And I am curious. Yeah, let's see if this is dry already. Yeah, it is. See? You got a solid 10 seconds. All right. So what I want to do is I want to see if I can get this burnt umber and this alizarin crimson. I want to see how the alizarin crimson behaves. Is it going to be thick enough? So if you squint, the darkest area, you know, might be like in here. And that adds a, yeah, see that thing, you gotta lay that junk on thick. Oh, it's gonna tint nice though. Take it out of the top. Keep my paint from turning to a brick. Purple. Oh. Yeah, this junk. Well, let's try it. Keep going with this, see what it does. So we'll vignette this mess. Oh, okay. See, that's, you can see through it. So that's gonna be nice. Don't let the brush stroke show. Whoa. Whoa. the trick is, this is getting kind of pasty. Getting the right texture so you can kind of anticipate what it's going to do. Don't let that dry in a hard edge. A little bit more of that over here. It's like a cloud or something. Comes down. Okay. Sometimes you get happy little accidents. You make a brush stroke and you're like, wow, that kind of looks like a cloud. And then you go with it. See, now this, that does look pretty good. Let me try a dry brush. Yeah, that just smooths some of that out. What does this do? All right, nothing. All right, we're learning as we go here. See, I don't watch sports, but I do know this, that you can train as much as you want. And you know football, let's say football. You know football, you train, you've played 1,000 games, but each game is different. And you go out there and you react to the circumstances that transpire during that game. And sadly, painting is like that. That's why you're nervous before you start each painting, because you have no idea how this is gonna turn out. You know you got a certain set of skills, but you don't know what you're gonna need and when, because paints have their own mind. They do what they want according to the humidity and whatever. This, so if you squint again, this red is kind of cool, but it's not bright enough. See, I should have left some more sun come through. So we're going to introduce, I'm going to clean this off. Yeah. Again, squinting helps. So let me just dip this in here and see if this cleans up. Nope, it doesn't. Ah, the joys of acrylic. So we're gonna see how that plays out. I'm gonna make sure that this is still recording. Make sure my paint doesn't lock up. And we're gonna introduce some yellows.